What's up? It's your boy Carcino here once again. And everyone keeps asking me, why did Jay-Z change his image? Did he sell out to the Illuminati? What happened to Jay-Z? He didn't used to be this way. What is going on here? Is he finna run for office? What's going on with Jay-Z? Why did he change up so much? What happened to Rockefeller Jay-Z? It's quite simple. There's a such thing as, for us, we assume Jay-Z was A-list. You know, we thought this is an A-list celebrity. But Jay-Z never was. Even in his heyday, he wasn't an A-list celebrity. Even though we assume that he was. There's an A-list that you guys don't know anything about. And that's the Oprah list. Okay, when you're on that plateau of the Warren Buffetts, that's where Jay wanted to get to. He wanted to ascend to that level. And to ascend to that level, they have to trust who you are and your actions and your ways. They have to know you're not this thug from the streets. They need to be able to trust you, because they can go down his background and see who he is and say, well, we know where you come from. We know where this such and such comes from. But we know who Beyonce is, but who are you? We know where she comes from, and we can trust her. We know her roots. But who are you? We know you played a part. Yeah, you rubbed shoulders with some guys that rub shoulders with us. But they're not on our level. So to bring you into this platform, we have to trust that you're going to do what we want you to do. You're going to promote what we want you to promote. We want to know that you could be trusted. So, Jay began in the public perception to make himself look safe. He grew his hair out, started getting twisted rolls in his hair, changing his whole perception and image up, doing different things to align himself with what he's about. Now, when he goes on stage and perform, you know, that's his outfit. But when he comes off, you know, you're going to see Jay in a whole different light. And plus, you got to think about it. He's a grown man. Jay is a grown man. So when you look at Jay and say, you know, he's a married man. He's a married, grown man. So when you look at him, you're looking at a situation where he's not going to be doing the same things he did when he was in his 20s that he's going to be doing now in his late 40s. It's not realistic. Anybody still thinking like that, eating the same things you were eating when you were 20, you're eating when you're 40, you're not going to make it through the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, because your body's changing. Even though you're not feeling it, your body's changing. So you got to change. So I have no problem with Jay's appearance and what he's doing, and as far as what he's aligned himself to. But I don't let him feed me stuff like okay, he's feeding me this and that. If he's look, if he's gonna make great music, that's it. That's all I really ask of Jay-Z to do. I don't want Jay-Z to save the world. I don't need Jay-Z to come up with a plan. Look, I trusted you when you came in as a musician. If you choose to do something else, that's fine, but I look at you as a musician. You sell me art. You sell me work. You know, so I'm expecting the work. I don't expect you to sell me an art gallery. I'm not here to buy food from Jay-Z. I'm not here to do anything but buy the music if I like it that he provides. I don't come over here and rag about what another man looks like. And that's another problem. People have this crazy thing to rag on what another man looks like. Like Jay-Z, he looks like a camel. He looks like this and that. I'm like, he had to grow up with all of this psychological damage. And then you want this guy to still love you. It's like, you guys are crazy. You guys, when you don't like them for whatever the reasons may be, he got the woman that most of you guys call one of the most finest women in the world. And they say, oh, that's because he paying her. She makes more money than him. He makes money. Or he makes his own money and she makes her own. So together they make money. They got kids together. They've been married for years. So it's obviously he's doing something right. It's obviously he's doing something right. And who cares? You see this? Like I told you guys, LL Cool J went through the same crisis, but his was in reverse. All the women thought LL Cool J was the finest rapper alive, and people were like, "Oh man, that's because that's the way he looked, taking his shirt off. And all the girls think he fine. That's how he's selling records." And LL said something that stuck to a lot of people during that time. And he said, I never dwelled on my looks, even when I was 18 years old. When I had the Bad album, he never dwelled on his looks. Because he said, what if there's a accident, right? I burn my face up. I don't look the same no more, but I'm still me. That not gonna make me a nice MC? I can't rap no more? He's like, no, I still can do this. Like, I'm good at this. You know, like, this is what I do. I'm an MC. You know, that's just it. Period. And like he said, he made that when he was 18 years old, that statement. And almost 10 years ago to that date, he came out with another statement, and he said, there have been other rappers that came in the game that has looked better than me, was in better shape than me. Why they're not here? And I'm still here. And he had a point. There have been other rappers, all girls thought look better than them and this and that. But where are they? You gotta put the work out there. If your work, that's what details everything. So, do I look at them as the Obamas or the new power couple, the Kennedys? Not really. See, the Kennedys didn't amass their fame until basically, you know, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, she really honed in on his fame after he was dead. That's really when his fame really started to work for him. Once they start going in that direction, and you know, the way his funeral was, like, she set up all this stuff and did things that they had done for no other president. And when she did all these different things, you know, it opened the door for, you know, him to be viewed as an icon. All the things she collected was worth so much money at the time when people thought she was wasting money. She was very influential in those things that Jay-Z has been introduced to people who make a lot of money, you know, and how to preserve it and buy things that appreciate with value that goes up. So he tries to implore that to people, but it comes off as arrogance, because it's like nobody in the poor or in the ghetto can worry about or ever going to be able to buy a $1.2 million painting that's going to be worth probably 14, 15 million in about 10 years. In 20 years it'd be worth like even double that. You know, people can't, you know, it's a great investment if you can afford to buy this type of art. You know, out here where we are, there are people who have houses that you think are houses, but they're not. They're collections of their art. That's like their own personal art collection and gallery. They have houses that they just store stuff in, like a storage space. So that's how they collectively, you know, save their money. It's pretty interesting. But I hope you guys can understand that. If not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but to me it's entirely different. Like I'm like getting near Jay-Z's age, so when you get up there, you can relate to it a lot better. When you're in your 20s, you know everything. Until you realize and get old enough to realize that you didn't know everything back in your 20s. So on that note, I'm out.